Hello, 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 and welcome back to Q&A Freaking Thursday. Today is a very special edition where we're going to be covering the SEMA events from the last week. Joining me, I have Miss Sydney Bray-Gwen.
Hello. Happy to be back.
Happy to be back. Yeah. Good to see you back.
Happy to have made it back from SEMA.
Very good. We also have Dane Hennon in the ether. He is... I think he's chained to a desk somewhere. There he is.
Hi,
There's
everybody.
Dane.
Unfortunately, I think it's set so I can't actually hear you guys, but I'm sure that'll be worked out over the course of this. So I'm just guessing you're talking about me. But anyway, nice to see everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I know everybody wants to hear that. So welcome to all our Q&A viewers. We're just having a little fun putting me here in the box, but, you know, it's one way of getting me at the table without actually putting me there. So thanks.
Good, Dane. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're happy to have you. Nice. He can hear us now. So, all right. So Dane will be in the background in the comments as usual. He'll be kicking things out to us as needed. I'm sure he'll chime in on a tangent or two when needed. But Dane is here, so have no fear. And then over in the wash bay, we have the one and only Lucas from customer service.
That's me. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, Lucas. You need to say, hey, guys, Lucas with customer service
Hey, guys, it's Lucas from customer service. And in today's Q&A, we're going to be washing this filthy Toyota Sequoia.
Hey, that's great. You should keep doing that.
Thanks, man.
So, Lucas, walk me through what your game plan is today for the detail or the
I'm
wash.
so glad you asked, Anthony. So first, we're going to bang out the wheels. So we got some detail factory brushes and whatnot. We got ADS tire cleaner for the tire cleaning, some magic wheel cleaner to get them filthy wheels cleaned up. Then we're going to run through and do some optimum touchless for a little pre-wash. And then we got some slasher soap. I never got a chance to use this, so I'm taking full advantage of this opportunity. And then we're going to do a little clay. So I got some Coach Chemi clay spray. We're going to seal it up with some hydro foam. Maybe top it up with some Amplify. Throw some Plastar on the tires for a little dressing. And then I heard some whispers that he was having issues with his front windshield this morning coming in. So I'm going to see if I can get that cleaned up on the inside for him.
Nice. Well, Lucas, don't have too much fun over there with all those products, me with a good time. Right? You're gonna have to tone it down a little bit, right? You got a lot going on, but we're excited for you. So Lucas will be in the background, obviously working on this car. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask away while he's using things. I do want to get his feedback on the slasher soap and see what he thinks.
I'll give you the feedback.
Think the smell and everything like that, and that's actually a good point too. If anybody's actually used their slasher soap here in the comments that picked up a mystery box, please let us know. How was your experience? How did you like it? Would you do it again? So, Sydney.
Yeah. Let's
kind of cover some basics and housekeeping. So, me and you were back from SEMA. Lucas actually was at SEMA too.
Yep.
So was Dane. Actually, everybody here pretty much in this was at SEMA. So, your SEMA experience 2025 in a few sentences. What do you think?
I thought it was really good. I thought that it was definitely, there was a little bit less attendance, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought that we had more time to talk to people. There was still great, meaningful conversations, and I thought everything outside the traffic in Vegas was pretty good about SEMA.
Oof. What are you laughing about?
Well, because I just got stuck in traffic a lot. And it was kind of annoying, but no, I thought SEMA was great.
Yeah, it's always crazy. F1 starts getting set up, right?
Yeah.
And so the whole town gets kind of uprooted, and then, everybody, gets stuck somewhere. But no, I'm glad you guys had a good event, and you ended up working a couple different booths as well, right? So you were at P&S, and you're also at Buff and Shine.
Yeah. Yep.
And did you stop anywhere else?
No, just checked in other places. Okay. As far as like working and wearing a shirt, I was just at those two.
Nice. What's between the two? Be honest with me. What is the most fun between the two?
Well, that's not particularly fair because I was I was in Buff and Shine on Friday.
Gotcha.
And there's not a lot of fun to be had on Friday, right? I mean, you're tired. It's the public day was a lot less attended than typically. But I still had a lot of good conversations, but there was a lot of downtime. I would say that, cause what's that thing they do? The SEMA, it's not SEMA Ignites. What's that? Is that what it's called?
Pretty much, yeah. SEMA
They do SEMA Fest.
Yeah, SEMA Fest. And so pretty much everybody goes out. It's so highly attended now that everyone goes out to get their spot on the street, right? Yeah. And so like by 2:00, the hall was pretty much dead.
Yeah.
And you've already talked to everybody in there. And so that was a little bit, we're all done at that point. But no, the Buff and Shine booth is always super exciting and fun. So, I mean, it was still fun.
Good.
But, obviously I think day 1 and day 2 are always the best because we're still fresh, right?
Yep.
And, all of our favorite people, we get to see. So I did get to see a lot of people at SEMA, which I really, people like Dewar, Steve Pierce, like I just love all of them. So it was so great to see them all.
Good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Yeah, it was a crazy week. I mean, I know that people are probably gonna have some questions for us, right? Because a few big things happened, right?
Yeah.
Coming from the Rad Company, we had the announcement of the merger between the Rad Company and Detail Factory, which is really exciting, and I'm happy to cover more of that if people have questions about it. But I mean, it's exactly what you think it is, right? It's two companies coming together to basically provide the best of what we do, the best of what they do, and hopefully make a bunch of really cool stuff. And we are still technically, mom and pop owned. We are still, nothing's changed there. We're still the Rad Company. They're still Detail Factory. But now we're really just kind of combining forces to be able to do bigger and better things. And I'm really excited for that. The other big thing, too, Ultra H2O, the big announcement there for the Rad Company. That is, that was probably one of my favorite things for sure. And I was super excited to bring that to the show and see how many people loved it and all of the
I told Lucas
awesome
to use
reactions.
them today, actually. So he's using the lance and the gun itself.
Nice.
Yeah. So sorry, Dane. I'm gonna have to turn you up in my ear a little bit because you're talking and I feel like I can't quite see you on the screen fully. So it's like a little you're like a little ghost on my shoulder.
Oh, okay. Glad I could be the little devil or angel on your shoulder, whatever.
You're a little bit of both, Dane. All right. So, but no, the Ultra H2O stuff that was obviously announced, and we're happy to talk about that some more. But overall, our week was great. I loved seeing everybody. So we had Rad Company Europe in town. We had Patrick and we had Quentin in town, which was awesome. We love hanging out with those guys. They were the guys that brought us all the Jello Revoice, the sketchy German lozenges. And we also had Mark Perch from Australia here, so from Car Care Co. Car Care Co. for Australia. And the Rad Company booth, as always, it's busy, it's popping. We had so many just amazing people. I mean, on top of like influencers, car influencers. I mean, some of the biggest guys really in the industry stop by because they want to hang out with us. They want to see Tavares and they want to see the car. And so we had the McLaren P1 in our booth from the project that
Cannonball
Garage had
and
worked
Car
on.
Council.
We had with the Car Council. And so if you're curious on the backstory of that P1, then you can go on YouTube and you can rewatch that and see all the magic that happened within literally like a couple weeks, right?
It's the only one never built in the McLaren factory. That's its kind of thing.
It's just a really cool. The whole situation was really cool. But outside of that, we did have a couple of first timers, right? Lucas, it was his first time at SEMA. It was Carson's first time at SEMA, and those both, and actually Troy's first time at SEMA as well.
Yep.
And they all killed it. They absolutely just did an amazing job helping people, talking with people, answering questions about towels and detailing, and we just had a really solid team. So I'm just super proud of the team that we brought down and how good of a job that we did. And so and then our nights were filled with with a couple different dinners, some company dinners and whatnot. And normally what would happen is, if it was me, Dane, and Levi sitting here, we'd probably talk to you about our full week, step by step, play by play throughout the entire thing. I won't do that, but I will leave it up to questions, right? And if anybody has any curiosity about certain things. But we did see Levi there, which was great. We saw a bunch of other friends from the industry, which is awesome. And then all of our live videos we went through and we highlighted as much as we could. I want to note though, for everybody that watched the live videos, by day 3 I was dead. I was done. We learned some good lessons there this time. What ended up happening was we shot a lot of content, and we shot a lot of content for everybody, for the distributors, for ourselves, for short form, for live stuff, and we really front loaded that. But we also had a previous week here at the Rad Company where I also shot a lot of content. So what ended up happening was we kind of just got wore out faster than normal. So by that Thursday and Friday, I was like floating. I was just like, let's just finish the week basically. But Friday I was pretty loopy, and it was quite funny. I said, I don't know what what I said, actually. Who knows what I said?
Yeah.
But anyway.
I think Lucas filled in for you.
Lucas did fill in for me. Lucas did fill in for me. So shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Carson also too. But we had some like technical difficulties on some of the streaming stuff, and we made out the best we could. So Dane, are we ready to start talking?
We are ready to party. Cool. So if you're ready to party, Sid and Anthony, I'll start throwing these up on the screen. We can start things off with Dan Pfeiffer. Always a classic here. Dan popping in the chat.
Sid,
good afternoon. Oh, sorry, Sid, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Sid's okay, good afternoon and word up from a warm and sunny Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Glad to see you all survived SEMA.
Thank you, Dan.
Always like you just never know, right?
Yeah.
We did, we didn't get to talk about it, but we did get stuck in an airport for a while, right? All of us. And what was there, 8 of us? And we weren't sure if we were going to get home, but we did get home at 3:30 in the morning. But we had a good time. We made the best of it.
Yeah, we were probably the loudest people in the terminal.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't get kicked out.
People didn't throw anything at us, so that was nice. Dan's asking, what was your favorite new product non-TRC from the show this year? Also, when is the special edition O&R going to be available? Thanks. What was your favorite product?
Well, I didn't get to see a lot, but can I answer a Buff and Shine product? Is that fair?
Non-TRC? Maybe this means like
you know what? If you do a Buff and Shine product, you got to do one more product too. Something that's just like
so I got to give a quick plug because we had a new product release at Buff and Shine, and it was the Orange Edgeguard, and his name is Special Agent Orange, and it's the first kind of like special edition with a mascot type deal. So that was super fun. That went over really great. So we were handing those out at the booth all week, and that was super fun. But then my other favorite product that I saw, my favorite product was actually in a back closet that we can't talk about, and that was from Flex. But I did get to see like a preview of a Flex tool that's coming out, and that was really cool. But then the other one I would say would probably be, the new Nano from Rupes looked like a pretty good upgrade.
Really nice, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. I did hear, but I didn't get to see, I heard there was some new iron removers that came out that had zero smell, and they were actually spraying them in the convention center, and nobody knew that they were using iron removers. So that would be nice.
Yeah. Very cool.
But yeah, I would say, one that I got to see in the back room, and the Rupes Nano. Pretty cool.
My favorite non-TRC, I really like the Rupes, the new Nano. I thought it was quite nice.
The magnet attachment.
Yeah, I really liked the way they did the,
that was cool.
It's honestly a kind of a Pixie style attachment, but it makes sense for what they kind of needed to compete with. I also saw the same thing you saw at Flex, also very cool. Outside of that, what really grabbed my attention? I'm trying to think.
We went so many places. You saw so much stuff.
I don't know. Maybe that could have been it. There is some other. There's small stuff, but nothing like super, super major. But I really think that everybody brought some pretty cool stuff. I personally think that we brought some of the coolest stuff as TRC. So now to answer your question as when is the special edition O&R going to be available, that is going to be available soon here in the upcoming week. So I would imagine here by the end of the month, maybe ideally even before Black Friday, those will be available.
I was going to say
right now they're actually blending them and mixing them as we speak.
Cool.
Yeah.
As a completely unrelated product.
Basically it was the bottles that were available there were the real thing, but those hadn't been basically mass produced at this point. So right now they're mass producing them. So it will smell very holiday like in your rinseless wash bucket.
Nice.
Next up.
All right. I was going to say, as far as the extra products go,
that's
why. So she can hear me. Basically, I was going to say those Griot's brushes with the detachable heads, the whole like swap kind of thing.
Oh,
I saw some people kind of, it's like a broom handle attachment, but I like the novelty of it. There's some ways you could definitely make that work, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be for everybody, but I like the fact that they were at least trying something a little out there. So
he's talking about the Griot's brushes, how they, detached and stuff. He thought those were pretty cool.
I need to be able to hear him.
Yeah, Anthony's little thing is dead.
A bit of no, it's not dead. Oh. It's fully battery. I just lost Dane.
That's all right. It's a connection issue.
Maybe I'll get him back. Maybe Nick's working on it. So.
All right, Breeze MW says ready.
All right, Breezy says ready.
And then I got
all right,
Michael
here we
DeBlau.
go. Michael. Hello from Belgium, everybody. I made good use of the €100 gift card, guys. P&S, Rag to Riches, Absolute Rehab, Clarity Cream, Rippin' Rags, and spray bottles.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true, because he did win the gift card, and I'm assuming we got him hooked up with maybe TRC Europe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bucky VW says, happy to see all my favorite people. Alex, it was great seeing you
Yep.
last week.
Absolutely.
I always
In
have a great
person.
time with Alex. I think he's very cheerful. He's
Yeah.
definitely top 3 favorite Canadians.
Yeah.
He brought gummies, and he brought all sorts of fun little treats, from Canada, which is great.
He did bring a lot. He brought like a spread of Halloween candy, and it was all perfectly organized. Did you see that?
Was that what you're talking about at Armour's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had his suitcases came with like all this Canadian Halloween candy because it was right after Halloween, right?
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about Alex, when we get to see him online, but we've gotten to spend some time with him, and he's so funny.
He's
very funny.
Like his one-liners
Very.
are like,
He's great.
I've never met anybody better at the one-liners.
He's great. He
He's
comes
so-
up with them pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so
He's
funny.
very funny. Anyways, Hydra Detailing, say hi all. What's going on?
My favorite thing about
Sorry,
Alex
Dane.
was that
Dane, if you're talking, I can't hear you yet.
Dean, stop.
That's okay. I'm countering Sydney's point there about the Halloween candy spread. When he had it all laid out on the kitchen island there, and Matt Moorman was walking up, he's like, wait, nobody told me these were here. And then he started like going through and digging through them all and trying to figure out like what all, and he's like, oh, they're all weird. And it's like, they're Canadian, man.
Did he eat them?
He did. He
Oh,
totally
wow.
went for
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
Awesome. All right. Next question. Pablo says, hey, everyone.
going on?
Hand pink waving. That's nice.
All right. Then I've got there.
All right. The one who shall remain nameless. So do you want to name him today?
I'm out of names. I'm named out.
Yeah. I
Dane,
can only
what do you
smell.
got?
I can only smell iron remover.
I just want to call him Trevor today.
He wants to call him Trevor today.
Okay. All right.
That's the first thing that
pretty-
came to mind.
He's just Trevor.
Trevor.
It's a pretty basic name. Yeah.
I
Well,
know,
Not
that's
basic
why
in a bad way. Sorry, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
it like that. That's
Instead of going
I thought he was
crazy.
going to go crazier than that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Too funny. So he says, good afternoon, TRC family, and happy Friday, Junior. That's the first time I've heard that. From the cloudy south coast of Massachusetts. I hope you all recovered from SEMA. Clearly, I don't think we've fully recovered, but we're getting
Working
there.
on it.
About 85% of the way there. There's a
Yeah.
good 15% that is still left in Vegas. I
Yeah.
got to go get
Yeah. Yep.
shit back to me.
Totally. Good afternoon, Ron.
Ron saying good afternoon. Ron, what's going on? Happy to see you. Thanks for joining us. Serious business. Howdy. What's going on? Yes.
right.
Yeah. It was a quick recovery, Ron.
Yeah. I didn't do a lot last weekend, though. I didn't do a lot.
What'd you end up doing?
Just sat on the couch with my cats, honestly.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. I actually never drove my car till Tuesday.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was done.
It's funny. I got back.
Done for.
We got back on Friday night, and on Saturday, my daughter was up first thing in the morning with me, so I was with her hanging out, and I was like, okay, so energy wise, I'm like, oh, I'm drained, but she
Yeah.
doesn't know that. She's just
Yeah.
like, Dad's back.
Right.
We're about to have a lot of
Let's
fun.
go.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like, little girl, you have no idea what I just got back from that was a whole thing, and
Yeah.
so. But I ended up playing with her, and then I ended up actually doing the lawns and some yard work and
Yeah.
getting things ready to go because we lost pretty much all the leaves while we were gone.
Yeah. I am lucky that I have teenagers, so nobody needed me until 3 p.m. on
Gotcha.
Saturday. So I was pretty good. It's pretty good. But the cats needed me for sure. All right,
All
here
right.
Dane coming in
Eddington.
hot back to Anthony's ear.
Ooh,
Can you hear him now?
we'll get in there. Can you hear
There
me?
I got you in.
He can hear
All
me.
right.
All right.
Yay.
Back
Excellent.
in my ear, Dane.
Love
Thanks for being in there.
Oh, you bet. No problem. It is fairly spacious in here. All right, Eddington 1000. Good afternoon and happy Friday Eve. Let the fun begin. I agree.
Yes.
And then, Trevor here also saying good after. Oh, wait a second. We already did that one. What am
Yep.
I talking about? Boom. There we go.
It's about freaking time. We get Lucas in the wash bay. Yes, I know Lucas from customer service. We have to steal him away from servicing all those customers, and he does it so well. that it's hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to let them go.
Yeah. Got to put the phones on hold, the whole thing.
Yep. Next up here. Hydra says, your voice was still 100% till the end of SEMA, Anthony. German dropped helped you out. German dope. Yes, it did help me out great. I don't know.
It was German drop, not German dope.
That definitely says dope. But
it does, but that's not what it was.
No, it wasn't dope.
To be clear.
It was the Jellery voice, and I was popping those probably maybe more than I should. I did ask some Germans if there's a limit. They said not really, but typically you only need a couple throughout the day.
Okay.
I got through. That's all that mattered. And I
think
those
this
things.
is the first year that I didn't lose my voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not so much the show that gets you.
Yeah.
It's the after-hour events because what you're usually at like a bar or at a restaurant,
so you're screaming,
you're yelling to talk to people, right?
Yep.
And when you're doing that every single night for 4 hours, that's what happens is you lose your voice.
I played it pretty chill during the nights this year. Yeah, I did.
Me and Josh Brodel, we had bunked up. We were back in the hotel by 10 o'clock each night.
Yeah.
I mean, we were really out later than that. And we were usually in bed pretty soon. And then we got up every single morning and went to the gym.
Yeah. Wow. Good for you. I definitely didn't do that. I was in bed pretty early most nights by like midnight. Yeah. But what was it? Thursday? Was that the night we went to the Armor House?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get home till like 2 something that night.
Yeah. No, it was that was actually might have been the latest we had been out, to be honest.
Yeah, but you went home several hours before I did. You missed all the fun.
Next up here,
I've got Wolfsburg here with a good question. What drove TRC to develop a spray gun and a Detail Factory partnership? Now, to be clear, Detail Factory thing is in fact a merger. It allows us access to their ability to do like 3D printing plastics, all that kind of stuff. It gives us more, flexibility on that front.
Yes. So, what drove us to develop a spray gun? I'm assuming you're talking about the Ultra H2O stuff.
Yes.
I think what drove us to do that was we had a lot of success with the air stuff. I mean, the air tools. A lot of people really like the air tools, and we had kind of a couple of years ago had talked about what if we got into H2O tools, right? What if we got to water tools, right? And the name was kind of created right there on the spot. It would be called Ultra H2O, and made sense. And then from there, I started drawing stuff, and that's basically the drawings are what eventually turned it into reality. And it wasn't necessarily like, hey, we have to make this or we should make it just because we can. To be honest, we actually weren't very capable of making that at the time due to just what we had available to us from resources. That was actually that was a long shot for us, believe it or not. You would think that it would be just due to who we know or the people that we're surrounded by, maybe that would be easier, but it wasn't because we wanted to do everything from scratch. And because we want to do everything from scratch, you don't really want to utilize existing resources because then you have influence by certain people, or maybe there could be shortcuts that could be made because maybe this might be easier to do since we've already done something similar. Things like that. This was kind of one of those, well, we didn't really want to be influenced by anybody else. We just want to do it ourselves, and that's exactly how it came about. And so everything that we did was just due to our what we wanted to do and what we wanted to see. Now the Detail Factory partnership, again, like Dane said, that is a merger. That is companies really kind of coming together to be one bigger company, I guess you could say, but we are still separate in the fact that we're keeping our names and the brands separated. But now this opens up some more ability to do more stuff. Now, I will say that if we would have had the Detail Factory partnership while the H2O stuff was going on, this would have been very, very helpful. But actually, the H2O stuff was started way beyond and way before ever jumping in with the Detail Factory stuff.
That's when H2.0 comes out.
Yeah.
Dane, you're so funny. No, well, we gotta, no, this, I think people are really gonna like what they see, Dane. Bonnet, T-boned, what does it say, Bonnet Todd?
T-Bone Todd.
T-Bone Todd.
T-bone
Todd.
It makes sense when you see it on YouTube. There's lowercase and uppercase. It says T-Bone Todd.
Gotcha.
Don't read too far into it.
T-bone. No, there's no D. No, not okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, when are the new liquidators dropping? Those colors are top notch. I would expect those colors here in the next few weeks. We're trying to shoot for by the end of the month, so they are coming though. All 3 colorways will be coming.
I definitely want to shout them out because I think colors on camera, they don't really do them justice. Seeing it in person, you can really pick up on the distinct, like, kind of, I kept describing it like metal flake in paint. Like, it just kind of comes through when the light hits it just right. It's super cool.
Yeah. That's what I would have said too. I noticed from all the footage from SEMA that, every time I would see the towels come up on camera, I was like, that's not what they look like. Like, they're really cool looking in person.
In person,
but
they really are.
They look really cool. But the camera for some reason blends all the colors together, but they're really cool.
The sheen of it. Yeah, just like a lower quality like phone camera isn't
they're really cool.
The way I will. All right. Then we got Anna saying a swag van. Cool. Much
very cool.
And then Hydra here saying it's almost time to switch from ads for Halloween to Koshemi GSF Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
And then I've got Gav details with the question. I'll throw this at Sydney.
Any info on the Buff and Shine and familiar looking blue wool pad? So I think you're probably talking about the blue and white blend. Unless you're talking about the purple one. We do have a new purple wool pad. And I mean, it's just a dyed purple, it's pretty similar to the dyed yellow. It's just a little bit different, construction, but I really love the purple wool pad. And then there is a new blue and white wool blend, which I've been enjoying as well.
All right. Then I've got Stealth GR4. Anthony, go ahead and take it away. Slasher.
So my experience with Slasher is weird. It doesn't give the foam I see in any video on the standard Shampoo Plus. I've used distilled, non-distilled water, and the results are the same, watery consistency. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
But how much soap is he using? That's the question.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. Are you diluting it the same?
I wanted to see if Lucas, did you end up using the Slasher soap?
I think he did, and I think it's in the bucket, and it looks really foamy in the bucket.
Yeah, I don't know if he foamed with it on that or if he had foamed with something with Touchless from Optimum. So Stealth GR, what I would probably do is take a look at your foam cannon, check your filter, check your stainless filter, make sure it's not clogged or anything. We have been using it here, and the foam is great. The foam is exactly the same as it is with Shampoo Plus. We haven't seen any changes there. So I would maybe go back to back with Shampoo Plus and see back to the original and see if there's any major difference. I'm not sure. The formula is exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is the scent and color, and it's the same. What's it called? The same. I would say the same volume of the actual scent and color. So nothing's really changed from the original. But I am curious to know more. Next up, Dane.
Then I wanted to point out that if you've been watching, Lucas has been running that water for a long time now. He's actually using the trigger lock feature on the H2O handle. So wanted to shout that out.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's nice.
Smooth. Super smooth. Easy peasy.
Yep, it's
just
super
like
smooth.
And, all right.
Cool.
Yeah.
This next question got the commenters all riled up. I'm going to throw it out here, but take it in which the spirit in which it's intended, because this person is a new detailer. They genuinely don't know, and they're asking a real question. So, boom, throwing it out there. Why don't you guys carry more brands like Thor?
Gotcha. It's a good question. So why don't we? So how I'm going to approach that is just how come we don't carry more brands, right?
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm gonna address. Oh, that's Slasher soap right there. That
that looks good.
That Lucas is using
right out
right there. It's putting on a pretty good show.
Cannon. Yeah, nothing special. It's just the dilution of youth.
Yeah. Okay. So to answer the question of just why don't we carry more brands, right? So I'll try to do this without overly explaining it. I mean, I'll explain it, but I'm not going to go into excruciating detail as maybe I would sometimes. So when we started the rag company, we started getting more and more into the online space and retail space and diving deeper into the detailing community, there's a couple things that we identified. It's that as the rag company, we know that we are a towel company at our core. This is what we do. We do towels, and we do towels arguably, the best. At least we think so. So when it came to finding chemicals that best paired with our towels, right, that was a process that really we wanted to delicately jump into, because finding chemicals, jumping into the chemical realm, there's so many different options out there, but it's what companies do we want to work with? What companies do we feel our towels or our products work best with? And early on, right, Optimum was definitely a company that we had some really good synergy with.
Optimum, the product was the very first product we ever carried.
Yeah, totally.
Because an employee liked it and used it. That's where our connection started.
Good, Dane. And then following that was slowly but surely, it was PNS, right? And PNS, the same thing, right? We found just a great company with great people behind it, and we go, hey, this makes sense for us to do. Well, for us, jumping into the chemical, chemical realm of detailing, right? Now that basically opened the door to, well, now that we're doing this and we're shipping these things and we're utilizing these things and we're making more content about it, how can we do it differently than somebody that is just distributing chemicals, right? And that's really the biggest thing is, right, how can the rag company be different as an educator and as a leader in the industry rather than just a distributor? Yeah. Because what happened is early on, we learned a lot of lessons from people that were already existed in the industry for a long period of time. And these were people that had bounced around from different distributors, or they'd bounced around from different jobs within the industry. And these people were in fact people who worked for companies like AutoGeek, right? And AutoGeek, everybody knows, was one of the biggest distributors of detailing products in the world. I mean, AutoGeek had hundreds and hundreds of brands that they carried. So many, in fact, that it was kind of overwhelming, right? Well, when you start carrying that many brands, your value proposition to those brands drops dramatically. The value that you offer a brand as a distributor could be as simple as we just sell your stuff, or it could be as amazing as we sell your stuff, but we also educate on it and we use it ourselves, and we can talk about this freely and confidently, right? So what happens is the people that had worked at AutoGeek, we learned a lot of lessons from them, saying, hey, there's so many brands, right? And these are people that were at the face of the camera, right? There's so many brands that we have a hard time even guiding people towards the right thing, right? We have so many different products that do the same thing that we have a hard time guiding people towards the right thing. And eventually what happens is it just becomes a very transactional deal, right? As a brand and as a distributor, it's, hey, we're low on stock, replace our stock. Hey, we're doing this, replace this. Hey, we're running out of this, replace this. Well, people like brands like AutoGeek, right, or companies like AutoGeek had to completely redefine how their business structure was because of how overwhelming it was to carry that many brands and really offer that little value to those brands. So what ends up happening is, and I'm not saying that AutoGeek is still doing it incorrectly or whatever. I know they've revamped and changed a lot of things, but they're still an amazing company with some great people behind it. But there was just a lot of lessons that we learned from them, right? And so what it was for us is, how does the rag company do it different? By educating and building up a solid relationship with these brands, to where we know the chemists, to where we know the marketers, to where we know who's bottling it, where it's being bottled. We know the SDS sheets. We know things like that, because that right there is now establishing longevity in the industry. That's what it is. It's longevity. And it's allowing us to be able to continue to educate and slowly but surely grow and build with the brands that we believe in, and not just chase what's the latest and greatest, and not just chase money or anything like that. Because the thing is if you're in this for the long run, those things will come, and they will come eventually, but you have to be passionate about what you do for long enough to give a crap to get to that point. And so I think what makes the Rag Company different is the fact that we don't carry every brand under the sun. We could absolutely do that, but we choose not to because we like to be able to find differentiating factors and ways that we can educate and entertain and help you guys the best way we can. And again, we're not trying to pigeonhole us. We're trying to be true and be honest to everybody, because I mean, I can tell you every single week that this is the best new thing, or this is the best new thing, or this is the best new thing, but I'd be lying to you, I'd be lying to myself, and at the end of the day, I would probably lose more sleep and I would probably have a few more gray hairs. The way that we do it is the most honest and passionate way that we can while still being a business, and that is what's extremely important to us. So that's a very long-winded way of saying why don't we carry more brands, every reason I just explained, and I hope that makes sense.
And to add to that, did you mention at all like our testing process? I mean, there's actually extensive testing that goes into these things. And we actually have spreadsheets, multiple detailers across lots of different environments. You guys know very well. But also, it's a matter to what Anthony was saying here. You can see like the hot new brand pop up and it's there. It's big. It's being plastered everywhere for like a month or two. And then 6 to 8 months down the road, you notice, hey, it's not on their website anymore. What happened? And everybody's very quiet about it. Mm-hmm. It seems to happen often enough. So all I would say is just, use your best judgment, do your own research, figure that stuff out. But
just one thing to note is
asking questions like this is absolutely a great way to do that. So I really appreciate the question, Imran.
So one thing to note is, no matter where you buy your detailing products from, wherever you choose to buy detailing products, whether it's a distributor, whether it's a local shop, whether it's a brick and mortar situation, however you like to buy, even if it's on Amazon, right? Just know that when you have a distributor or somebody like that pushing as much as they possibly can, as fast as they can, regardless of who it actually is, at some point, their value prop to their people, their partners, right? Their chemical, their lines of chemicals. Eventually, what will happen is it will start to get confusing, and it'll start to get really messy, and it will be visually messy for everybody and visually confusing for everybody. And at that point, that's when you start to see brand partners usually back away from a distributor or somebody in that position, because they go, hey, I don't want to dilute my brand by being with maybe X, Y, or Z. So they will back away to protect themselves, as they should. And it's just so they don't get lost in the mix, right? And because everybody's out here trying to be successful, everybody's out here trying to succeed, but you got to do it in a way, and you have to do it, I don't want to say the right way. You have to learn from your experiences, but you also need to probably learn from other people as well. And that's what we tried to do the most we could early on. And I think that's how we are where we are today.
Yeah, in the company's 26, now going on to our 27th year next year. I mean, we've been doing this for a very long time as far as the microfiber is concerned, but chemicals weren't even brought into the equation for us until about 2015, 2014-ish. So you're looking at just a little over a decade worth of time with chemicals and stuff. We're slow to adopt things, but it is a very thoughtful process the way these things happen. And I will say, nobody here is saying we're the greatest, the only, the best, because the fact of the matter is, while we are selective in the brands we carry, sure, there have been times where we brought something on and we really were excited about it and we wanted to show it to people, and it just didn't catch on in the way we thought it might. But we also do that way less often than a lot of other places. So it's not to say it's perfect, but it is something to consider each time when something is just brought out with like a whole lot of hubbub and then it just vanishes seconds later. We try and be more for the long term, the long haul, and just thoughtful about it. And you can ask, the companies we distribute for, they would say, like, we give them the time of day, we really care. So that's important.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving along
Next
here.
question.
I've got a question here from Hydra. What is SEMA Fest? Cars, drifting, drag racing, tuner shows?
Kind of everything. Yeah, literally all. Well,
it's all of it.
It's all of that. I mean, it's everything in a very very concentrated dose.
Yeah, and the most unfortunate part of SEMA Fest is right when SEMA's over and all of our booths are put away.
Yeah,
they're doing their parade out.
Yeah.
and you can't get anywhere.
Yeah. True.
But yeah.
Yeah, you got to try to go the other way, away from the parade if you want to get out of that convention center.
Yep.
Next up.
All right, looking here, and I've got a ton of questions. I just had to go back a couple of pages because it was kind of a new deal here. People were responding to his comment, but I wanted to get his follow-up. So this was his honest follow-up. He was just saying, really, I'm new to detailing, and I know the rag company and the House of Rags are big, but just saw more options on Thor. And yeah, you're going to see more options there because they're kind of throwing a lot at the wall. So you see what's on the wall. All right, next up, I've got Jose here. Oh, no. Can rewatch the SEMA Lives. Matt also, you can, you know what? People were asking what Matt Mormon of Assess Garage thought of the Lance, the pressure washer gun, all that stuff. So, Anthony, you can weigh in a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I think he likes them. I think he thinks they're pretty cool. He has to put on the persona, obviously, but I mean, I think that when we told him initially that we were doing this, he's like, what the heck? He's like, Anthony, I should be the one doing, why are you doing this? And I'm like, well, because I think I know what I like and I think I can do this. And so it was just kind of funny, but he was supportive of everything. He did say that, maybe at some point, maybe that could exist in their space. Right. But he's really picky, but when I told him it wasn't handmade in Italy and whittled by an Italian man, he was a little discouraged, and I understand, but I kind of told him, hey, we are trying to make something that is premium and affordable, and it may not scratch his itch that he's looking to scratch, but I think that he still respected it. I think he still loved the looks and a lot of the features of everything.
All right, then I've got next. Wait, was this a question for? Oh, it's a good question for Sydney. If you can weigh in, from Michael DeBlau, wondering the difference between Frostbite and Built Hamber's touchless.
So I'm not too up on the touchless technology as far as where it falls on the pH scale. But Frostbite is just slightly above neutral, so it's going to have a little bit extra cleaning ability, but I would venture to say it does not have as much as touchless, correct?
Correct. Yeah, touchless is going to be a stronger cleaner.
Yeah. So Frostbite is probably on the scale where you could use it every wash if you wanted to, whereas touchless, you're probably not going to want to use it every wash. So, for more
you could use touchless every wash, but your panel impact ratio, your dilution would matter significantly. Yeah. And the reason for that is that you probably would get some trim staining at some point. Yeah. All right, next up.
I'm digging through all the extremely back and forth commentary here, but let's see.
No, feel free. I mean, if there's anything relevant that you will fill some time, feel free to throw it up.
It was relevant to the conversation we just went on very long about. We'll put it that way.
Oh, well, hopefully it's positive things.
No, it's good. It's people going back and forth, but just a lot of talk about marketing and stuff. So I know we already kind of went over that. I wanted to touch on, let's see. Juice Free started a fight with Topstar. What on earth? Okay. And then we got people talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. Back and forth. Okay, let's go to Neil here. Simply saying, happy Thursday, TRC. Some great reveals at SEMA. Greer's new brushes look great. Also excited about your new pressure washer gun, etc. Thank you, Neil. Then I've got Stelt with a question for y'all. What was your favorite vehicle that was in Battle of the Builds? I personally love the C10 that was in 3D's booth. Honestly, I'm so detached from what went on with Battle of the Builds this year. We were just stuck in the booth.
I literally only saw the C10 in the PNS booth because I was there with it all week, which, I mean, I don't know how it rates to everything else, but that was a pretty cool truck. It was really, really cool. But other than that, I did not get out, which we did have several friends, other companies in the industry, that did not have booths this year, and they got to be on foot. And I can't lie and say that I wasn't significantly jealous of them. And they were all you'd run into them and they'd be like, oh my God, this is so great. They're walking around, talking to everybody, doing their own thing, going to lunch when they felt
it looked very relaxed.
Oh yeah. So I did, in my SEMA wrap up at PNS, I said, you know what? Everybody that works the booth needs to have at least a half a day where they're just on foot on their own. Yeah.
Well, the problem though is that you're
just so busy.
Even if you get half a day, you're half a day sandwiched in a busy week. It's better than nothing at all.
Yeah.
You really need like
a day.
Like 2 days.
Well, but I don't necessarily, for me personally, I don't necessarily need to go to any other hall. I just wish that I got to do our hall.
Do our hall.
Because honestly, like I did run by other booths, but I didn't like stop to look at them, or enjoy them.
I would like to be out of TRC swag. I mean, not that I don't want to represent.
No.
I would just like to look like a normal person and just go and talk and have fun. That would be nice.
I was really jealous of our friends that didn't have booths.
When we walk into a place with our, our nice TRC shirts on, everybody goes, "Oh, Rag Company's here. Are you here to talk to us?"
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to look at your wall and I just want to like smell this stuff over here on the wall if I can. And they're like, "Oh, sure. Well, please let us know if you have any questions." No, I just this is my own personal. I just want to smell that. If that's if that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Stealth. Next up.
All right, Corral's Garage in Sydney. If you could weigh in a bit more about the Buff and Shine polishing pad, wants to hear more.
Yeah. So the Special Agent Orange, that kind of came from, we had the Orange Eurotech, and it was still considered a polishing pad. It kind of fell between, I would say it fell between the yellow and the blue. So the new orange is just a new orange that Rich Umbrell, the owner of Buff and Shine, was able to source, and it has a lot more elasticity, so it holds up a lot more. The previous orange would tend to heat up quite a bit, and it'd sometimes mushroom if people used it too long. It was a great pad, but what we noticed is that it was really great for the first couple passes, and then it would really, it would become softer. And so this new orange just has a lot more oomph to it. It does have a little bit more cut. I would still place it between the yellow and the blue, but it was a little bit more flexible. So, when you're just trying to do a one-step enhancement, the blue pad is awesome, but it's a little bit more stiff. I love to use the blue and the maroon, but they're stiffer. So when you want to just, literally be buzzing, paint enhancing a car, the orange one is absolutely amazing. It's leaps and bounds, awesome compared to the other orange. And I loved the other orange. There's nothing wrong with it. I would just put that more as a polishing pad. And this is more of a, it's got some cut to it too. So, and it is only right now available in the Edge Guard. And so the Edge Guard line, when it was made 2 years ago, was those specific pads. There hasn't been any added to it. So this was kind of a fun add that we could, go crazy with the marketing. And we've been testing it. Tony and I had been testing it for several months, and we were like, oh yeah, we need to make this a thing. It's definitely become, for me, I'm either maroon or the new orange. Love it.
All right. Excellent. And then I've got Nathan Goodness here saying, is there a specific way I should be washing my TRC interior scrub pads? Thanks.
Throw them in the washer.
Yeah, I just throw them in with my towels.
Washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Yep, they're microfiber.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Easy peasy. Moving along here, we've got Hanzo saying, hello, everyone. Got my mystery box on Monday. Looking forward to try out everything. How's the weather there? Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend.
Nice. Congrats, man. Weather's great, actually. Weirdly enough, it's actually not bad.
Because we were saying in the airport, we were saying that it feels like every time we go to SEMA, it's kind of nice when we leave. And then generally speaking, when we come back, we come back to either snow or it's horrible, freezing. And it was cold the night that we came back because we got back at 3:30 in the morning. We're not usually up at that time. But this week has been really pretty warm. Yeah. It's been pretty warm. Today is still warm, but it's kind of cloudy. But it doesn't feel like winter yet. So... Yep. We've gotten a little extra week of fall.
Agreed.
All right. Be very afraid of our next commenter because it is none other than G. Davis.
Oh, nice. G. Davis. Man,
here with a helpful tip for Anthony.
In the flesh.
To prep for a better SEMA performance 2026, I'd suggest a few weekends interviewing folks at local farmers markets or perhaps attending a wife/family swap event to boost stamina and fortitude. How kind. Thank you for that wonderful
Thank you, G. Those are
advice.
all very helpful things that I will try to incorporate maybe next year. Definitely.
Careful. Pineapples are pokey. All right. Yes. Nathan Godinez. SPG, can you go over your winter rinseless wash method? I recently picked up some Absolute, and I'm excited to use it.
Yeah. So my method now consists of, because I've become quite lazy since I got to try out the keg sprayers. So while I love a good IK sprayer, I still use the foamers, but now I have like pressure washer hose hooked up to a keg sprayer full of Absolute. That's like the best thing ever. So I still, which I will start off with my customers, most of them I do ask them to run their car through the car wash first. I still do that. So that does absolutely help, the fact that I do rinseless. But otherwise you could still, use a pressure washer if you needed to, or if my car's ever gotten muddy and I can't do it at my house, I'll go to the pay and spray, whatever you call those things, and rinse it out first and then go on with the rinseless. But otherwise, I pre-spray with my keg sprayer, or you could use an IK12 as well, full of rinseless, and just get, all of the polymers, and getting the dirt lifted off the surface and ready to wash. And then I just kind of wash normal. So sometimes in the winter, I do end up with more dirt and snow and stuff like that on my floor. But otherwise, I'm probably more heavy on the pre-spray. Gotcha. For sure. Yeah. But my customers, if they're dirty and have a lot of snowpack and all of that, I do ask them to run it through the car wash first, but that's just me.
Cool. Very good.
Excellent. All right, Anthony, you got stealth here.
I should be the only Trevor here. I'll fight for it. Ooh.
There you go.
Okay.
Them's literally some fighting words.
Yeah, Aaron.
You get Aaron.
Happy Thursday, TRC crew. Is there any new towels that couldn't be released by SEMA that will be released by TRSEMA? Maybe, yeah. I mean, there could be.
Well,
I gotta leave some stuff a secret. Yeah.
It's not really a secret, because we told people at the show, anybody who asked about the H2O line, you will probably be able to get your hands on it around the time TRSEMA comes around. Yep. That's the goal here. All right. Looks like Lucas is doing a great job hitting up the top panels on the van there, the part that tends to be a little less loved. Then Juice Free screaming, TRC! Chat told me they want a bucket in the whole RoboCop theme of the H2O line. So he likes the color scheme of the H2O line, but he wants it introduced to a bucket, perhaps a stickers, or a literal bucket. Just like top-down bucket design.
Definitely.
So he needs to come up with a new bucket, apparently.
Totally, yeah. We can do that. We actually realized we have the PF22 on the table there. We do have the Ultra H2O foam cannon as well, and I don't know. I think we maybe just we brought everything back from SEMA, and we so funny enough, we actually had to bring everything back in our hands, because we didn't want to put it in the crate, because we were like, we don't know when we're getting the crate back, and we wanted to bring back some of what we brought there to the show. So we had to actually bring it back. So everybody had like things in their backpacks and whatnot. We're still kind of getting established, but we have the gun out there, and so but yeah, Lucas has got that, and that thing's just so freaking awesome, man. I'm obsessed with that thing. Yeah, it's been great. Next up.
All right, next up, I've got molasses. What's he saying, Anthony?
One of the things that shocked me was the sheer number of companies coming out of nowhere with entire lines of detailing products. Everyone thinks they need their name on shampoo and tire cleaner. Yeah, it's kind of a weird time right now in detailing for that.
All right, moving along a page or two. Okay, we got Juice throwing out into the chat. Press 1 if you want a RoboCop H2O bucket, and a bunch of people hit 1. So you know how it is. It's just a little crazy. Oh, and there's Jay Belinsky popping in saying hello, my
Joey,
friends.
what's going on? You were very missed, my friend.
Yes. Jose with a comment, Armor Detail Supply is starting their own blending company. If that happens, I'm going to start Shampoo Minus.
That's funny, yeah.
That's fun.
I can actually, I don't know if I can speak on this, but I will say they are not starting a blending company. I found that out. I had to ask myself, and they are not starting a blending company. I think they were wanting to future-proof some names on Instagram, and I think that some people saw that and they're like, they're doing it, they're making a company. I wouldn't think too far into it. Yeah,
it's kind of like when big car companies will patent a name that like kind of ran out or trademark a name that ran out a long time ago, and people are like, they're making this car, and it's like, well, hold on, they're just protecting the name. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything with it yet.
I mean,
they just want to make sure they don't lose their IP.
You should see all the different names that Dane has tried to protect. Is things like Bark and Purr 1-2, Bark and Purr Triple Threat, Bark and Purr The Return of Curly. I don't know. There's everything. There's sequels of different videos shot at the Bark and Purr, which I don't know how we got away with it in the first place.
Yeah, what? Okay, so this is like responding to Juice Free, saying something about, if it's a clear bucket, for sure. I just wanted to take this moment to talk about those clear buckets because I swear every other question about the clean screen, really, during the show, had to do with those clear buckets. They're like food-grade buckets.
Yeah, you can actually go to a restaurant supply store and usually find them.
Pick them up.
They are, while they can be somewhat chemical resistant to a certain degree, just keep in mind that they scratch really easily.
And they get more brittle.
And they do, I mean, they get dirty too, right? Yeah. So they look really great for what we use them on camera, but I have one at home, and I mean,
once you start using it,
you use it to wash wheels, and it's going to be smoked.
The plastic will actually start to begin to get a little dingy. So it looks really good when they're new. It's not that different from
a pair of headlights that just starts to go, and then at a certain point, it's like time to replace it. It's like you kind of set yourself up for this by getting,
and they're not cheap
when they're new,
right? They're not cheap.
Really expensive.
They're like $50 a piece, right? $40 a piece, yeah.
No, they're super expensive, and they look pretty when they're new, but you have to keep them perfectly clean. Once they've kind of gotten milky from chemicals and stuff, they're not so pretty. So
so just a heads up, there's better ways to use your money.
Just use it for filming.
Good evening from the UK, TRC. This is Johnny Shield.
What's going on? Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us.
Let's see, we've got Jay Belinsky wondering, can we get some refresh bucket labels when the H2O line drops? I think that's
I didn't realize this was such a thing.
They want to see
fresh
bucket
labels. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
So, and then Juice quickly corrects him. No. Let's think bigger. Get a whole new bucket. Guys, shipping buckets, I'm just going to be honest, sucks.
It's
don't
worst
recommend
nightmare.
it. Because you're shipping air. Unless you have things in the bucket when you ship it, you're just paying way more shipping because of the dimensions of the thing. Unless you can flat pack a bucket and have it not leak. Find a way to do that, and you've probably made yourself a crazy amount of money.
Labels are doable. Labels are very doable.
Labels
we probably
are much more doable.
We could probably have a refresh at some point.
Yeah.
Next up.
All right. So next up, I've got Breeze MW. Just noticed that Lucas is using the new Ultra H2O gun.
He is actually using the new Ultra H2O gun right now. He's actually using it with the quick disconnects, and he's actually
check this thing out, boys.
And he's actually utilizing the nozzle holder and everything like
nozzle
that.
Nozzles on the lance.
Nozzles on the lance. Yeah.
Nozzle holder.
You could show somebody. You could clip that foam can into that nozzle holder.
Did you see me not pull that collar back and how sick that was?
Well, here, just show them if it so that grommet, I should say the nozzle holder is not meant to hold a foam cannon, but if you really wanted to get crazy with it, you could just do it like that, right?
If you do this, you're crazy, but you could do
it. We joke around that you could take the lance and you can put the lance in sideways, and you could create like a full-on
absolute monster
handle.
Scratch-o-matic,
It's hilarious.
It's just a Frankenstein's creation of just awful, pressure washer.
I think Lucas is actually going to show you. Look at this. It's actually hilarious.
He's actually going to do it.
So if he takes the nozzle, he'll put it in there. But take the lance, go sideways with it. So
imagine you're a guy that likes to have one of those HD handles or whatever on their polisher.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
goodness. It's full on. That's for aggressive rincing. You know what I mean? That's when you've
when
had
you're
a
hanging
day
out of the side of a helicopter and you got to make sure you hit that spray just right.
To the chopper. Wow. Get to the chopper. All right.
We got Sheepstar checking in. Of course, he had to make it known, so thanks. And then I've got Sheep saying he's drinking beer between details. Okay. Detail Factory Merger seems like a super good fit, says Molasses.
Yeah.
Then I've got Okay. We saw this come up many times during the course of the show when people found out. And they're like, oh, is there a new name happening? It's like, no, they'll still be Detail Factory and we'll still be the rag company.
Yeah.
It's just now we have access to their stuff and they got access to ours. It helps with flexibility on a lot of different projects. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, if you had something you wanted to add, go ahead.
There's no change there. I mean, that's and what you're getting there is transparency. I think that's what I guess if we wanted to, I guess we could have kept that hidden, right? We could have not said anything.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually better to say something because I think it's exciting, and I think we're all excited about what could come from that. The Detail Factory merge also gives Anthony exclusive access to their Honda-themed adult-only timeshares in the Bavarian Alps. Yes. Those are, that was half the deal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I said, hey, I am not down for this unless that comes with it, and it did.
Yeah. As soon as I heard that, I was like, this is why this happened.
And I'll throw one more comment up here before we go to our little halftime check-in. He's throwing it to me, although I think this is better suited to you guys. Hydro's wondering, how long do you soak towels you just used with a drying aid or sealant? I mostly soak them overnight in a bucket with rags to riches. You could do that, certainly.
Yeah, so I don't usually soak the ones I just used. I only soak my towels about once every 6 months. But what I do, so if I do a wash clay seal and I'm using bead maker, is I have a spray bottle with rags to riches in it hanging on my laundry basket, and I will spray that down with the rags to riches, and then I just put it in the laundry basket and set it and forget it. So I don't really soak them overnight. I don't know that I personally feel like soaking towels that often is a good idea. So I only soak them every 6 months. But, I have heard about people doing this where they leave them in buckets of water for the whole week and then they wash them. I don't have any scientific reason to think that. I just think that's a lot of water sitting in your microfibers.
Yep.
So I just spray them with rags to riches and then wash them as normal.
I like that. All right.
And I do the hot water soak overnight in a bathtub every 6 months.
Nice. Okay. Good call. All right. Well, we have reached the halfway point here of Q&A. And so that means we have 1 hour left, and we're happy to answer more of your detailing questions here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, we do have a few messages from ourselves as well as our vendor partners. So we'll run those, and we'll see you guys here in just a few minutes. All right, and we are back here for the second half of Q&A Thursday. Welcome back, everybody. This is the fun hour. Joining me today, we have Miss Sydney Brigwin over in the wash bay. We have Mr. Lucas from customer service. And then off in the ether, we do have Mr. Dane Anthony, who is, who knows what he's doing back there.
Doing something.
He's always
hanging out.
He's always doing something. He's working on something. So welcome back. We've had some great conversations in the first half. We had a lot of great questions in the first half as well. And we are going to continue this crazy train with some more detailing, some more questions, and hopefully go on some more tangents. So Dane, where are we heading on this crazy ride?
We're kicking things off with Megan, who decided to stop by. Thank you, Megan, as Silly Goose 757, enjoying some beautiful weather, sunny and 72 degrees. Thank you.
That's
and
nice.
Let's see where we... Oh, then we also got a hello from Shark Blue Turbo. Hello. Love your E30 there in your picture. Very cool. Then I've got... Ooh, here's a good question. An actual question. Luke, want to know, is the mitt on a stick the same as the auto fiber version? If I need to buy some parts for mine, will they match?
Correct. Yeah, they are exactly the same, just a different color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like the Pro Plus, edition. It's like a whole thing, but the parts will, like the actual individual sections will fit.
Yeah, and sections, the mitts will fit, everything like that will fit. So it will be just a direct crossover there.
So if you want to make a blue and green candy cane, you could probably do that.
Delicious, yeah.
Yeah,
you could.
Great. I don't think candy canes should be blue, but...
Hydro Detailing says the quicker you can get them into the solution, the more suspended the coatings will stay.
That's back to the prior question that he had about soaking in rags to riches.
Yes.
All right. Then I've got... No, I love this. From Megan. My daughter walked in while I was watching SEMA Day 4. Upon seeing Lucas, quote, I didn't know the rag company had young people working there.
Jeez. Man.
Woof. Oh, man. We've actually, you know what, Lucas?
If that even is.
They'll believe it if they hear it from you, but like, we don't have a small number of young people working for us. We actually have
I'm
quite
the only,
a few.
me and Carson are it. Everyone else is like 50 plus. It's crazy.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. That was dirty. I apologize. We have a lot of young people that work here. We got Glenn, we got Carson, we got Jimmy, a bunch of our warehouse crew.
Why am I not being mentioned? I
We got
I know. I don't think I'm
going on. I don't feel like
Anthony, Sid.
don't feel like 35 is
for the
that.
worst. I'm the bad guy now. It's
old.
crazy.
We're all over 30 now.
I'm gonna get
so
back
we
to
don't
washing.
count.
Yeah, gotcha. I do moisturize daily. Just not
I
really
do a
sure.
lot of things.
I was like, so do I. And a lot of good that does make.
You do what you have to to not look old.
I pay a lot of money, you guys.
If your birthday starts with a
yeah.
18-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right,
man.
next up.
Thanks, Nick. All right.
Ouch.
Then Hydra replying back, I work from home, so that's why I had the question. Never had problems the way I do it. Was just curious how it's done according to the theory or books. So, I mean, it really is trial and error for a lot of people. It came about in our testing that what the sweet spot was, but Anthony tested a bajillion times, Sid's done it a bajillion times. Like, we found what worked for you guys.
Yeah.
Then Johnny Shield also points out this also applies to ceramic coatings, but always with a pearl weave. Only use that for good practice on interiors after that. So basically, don't reintroduce a pearl that's been used as a coating leveling towel, even if you soaked it. Don't put it back on the paint again. It's just not going to be the same. That's kind of what he's getting at. All right. Then we've got, I'm going to guess this as Sixus. Looking forward to seeing a product update for PNS Absolute. Sydney, is there anything you've heard?
Nope. There's not one on the market. So we get this question a lot, and PNS doesn't do like version 1, version 2, version 3. Occasionally there will be slight updates, that we don't ever mention. It's like a rolling change. A couple of the rolling changes that have happened to Absolute have been, Dave just plays around with not the raw chemicals that he puts together, but maybe the order in which they go together to see if, he's been trying to work, which now the current edition maybe isn't as chunky as the first couple editions. And then he's also tried to make the color more stable. So for whatever reason, the blue disappears after years.
It's a pretty blue, but it's tough to maintain.
Yeah, but otherwise the product performance is going to be exactly the same, which I happen to think is pretty great. I don't know what I would want to do to make it better. So the only thing that Dave has changed is just the order in which he puts them together. So I do know that, recently I've heard from people saying that they tried Absolute when it first came out and they didn't like how chunky it was and they've never tried it since, but it actually changed like round 2. So it's been, pretty great for a couple of years.
Yep.
Okay.
And even the chunky thing wasn't really an issue, but I know people didn't like the way it looked, but.
I wonder if there's room in the lineup for like a version that's like a wash and protect version.
So we've looked at that. We've definitely looked at that, but honestly, the sales data don't support it. And it's always, people bring that up a lot and they say, well, this is what I want. And it's like, right. But it's a very, very small handful of people that want that. And to mass produce a product like that, because PNS, everything is big batches, they don't do small batches. They don't, and we also don't want to take up a product in our lineup, for a very small select audience. And it's funny when people say that, because then if you do something, then they accuse you of having too many products. So we have played around for years with the Absolute with protection. But honestly, when we look at all the sales data from other rinseless washes with protection, it's a pretty low audience.
Yeah. The thing you learn over time, and I'm sorry to everybody watching now, whoever made one of these comments, but when you have a small, simple lineup that's easy to understand, people go, how come you don't have a product for this?
Right. Yeah.
And then you listen to a few of those customers, and so you expand your lineup a little bit, and suddenly if it's, shown online, you'll get the cynical commenters going, well, no, you guys are XYZ company known for having way too many products. So you can't win either way. The best thing you can do is just focus on what you think makes sense for your line. But I get it. All right, moving along, Trevor here. Is Lucas using the 3-pole or the 4-pole mid on the stake?
I think he was using the full Gandalf spec 4-pole.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just saw the bow staff and I was like, let's run it. So it was the 4-pole setup.
Yeah, that was a lengthy one. I like running a 2 or 3. I think 2 or 3 feels nice. 4 that's just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
I get that.
I'm a max 3 myself,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Gandalf spec, though. Yeah. So here we go.
Ron.
Ron says, in answer to Imran's question, I feel that TRC's product line is more curated than others. Yep. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then Joey here, it's hard to provide that dedicated attention to your core brands when you just bring on more for the sake of bringing them on. I mean, when you have to fight for eyeballs, I can understand the appeal of like, oh, new thing, because that's, as a company, what you want to do when you're trying to get people to pay attention to you. It certainly works for a while, but at a certain point, it's a whole lot. And what do you do with that after? That's the real question of like longevity. All right, moving along here, I've got still use mobile detailing. Rain, go away, and don't come back another day because I have bills to pay.
There you go.
Ah, nice.
A song of the detailers.
Let's see. Chemicals and towels don't really need yearly revisions like your phone.
I feel like that was a shot at Apple.
I don't know why you'd be doing that.
I do have this updated phone, and what's funny is I got the latest phone.
Yeah, so did I.
I have not used it any differently than any other iPhone I've had. I just got more frustrated with the camera app than I've ever been in my entire life.
And the keyboard's terrible, right? You spell everything wrong.
Keyboard's horrible.
The fat finger, all the things.
I want my old phone back. I just can't,
I do like the camera, because I do a lot of zoomed in photos, and that part is pretty good. But overall, I would say not worth it.
I find it switches to the lens that I need least, and I go, why are you doing that? And then the photo turns out horrible, and I go, couldn't you just stayed on the same
I don't understand why the photo can't take what you see in the viewfinder. So you see it, and then you push it, and it's a totally different color.
Yeah, because then it'll shift to the other camera to feel like, and then it goes like it's low light, so then it takes a minute. I go, just I could screenshot this, and have my photo better. So Joey, if you have any tips there on how to just fix that? Joey Belinsky says you're just milking your customers at that point.
I mean, it's really hard to deny at that point. But
so the question is do you want to be milked? Neil White says, I don't trust anyone that says it's the best before said product launches to the public.
I would much rather see something like, try it in the marketplace, it's understood, perhaps it's overseas or something, and then it's looking for a home here, in the States or something, and then you consider those. Or if it's something new here, I mean, in your own testing, you can definitely do a lot, and you try and give it to as many different people to test in different scenarios as possible, but ultimately, popular mob justice is what determines what's good and what's bad. I mean, the comment sections will always be the loudest. All right. Then Joey also says, it's just sad. I'm running out of channels to watch that haven't been tainted in one way or another.
Well, you have us, Joey. We're trying. We got a video a week that we're getting out. I know it's not a lot, but they are high quality. I believe they are high quality.
We try and take our time with those too.
Yeah.
And shout out to Seabass, who edits most of those.
Jose says, any good SEMA fights? I did not see any fights this year.
I didn't see any or hear any. Yeah.
No,
not to my knowledge.
Yeah. As opposed to any bad ones, I didn't hear about any.
Yeah.
All right, Alessio
says, why can't I find the right orifice size for my pressure washer? I get good foam out of it. I have a GPM of 2.2 and have a PSI of I'm a 290 to 2100.
Probably
not controllable on Karcher K5. I also have an Amazon shotgun. So what I'm wanting to know is what is the is it adjustable PSI? What PSI do you typically have it set to? But you had a 2.2 GPM, and you're running a foam cannon. Yeah. So what foam cannon do you have?
Yeah. Is it is the tip adjustable?
It's not really a brand foam cannon. Okay.
Yeah. I would get an adjustable tip one if you don't have one, because I know, on mine, just with different soaps, I have to rotate it to make it the right.
Yeah, it's mostly of, are you running your orifice inside your foam cannon that you don't know what the brand is. I'm assuming if it's a low quality foam cannon, it could have just came with one orifice and that's all it is, and you get what you get. What you need to do is be able to pick up a foam cannon that has replaceable orifices to be able to find the right one for your particular pressure washer, and it could be a 1.1, it could be a 1.25. I mean, I can't tell you based on that. I mean, I could, but what you have this adjustable PSI thing. I don't really understand what the deal is outside of just setting it to the max or what the actual PSI actually is. Because sometimes the max, if you said 2900, I think that's what it read. I don't know. No, I don't know if it's a true 2900. Right? Is it 2200 realistically? I'm not sure. Give us a little bit more information. Next up.
Okay. Juice just helpfully pointing out that when you order from the Rag Company, you get a sticker every time you order.
Yep.
Collect them all.
That's pretty cool. Yes. Also, I believe they're still giving the lens cloths in orders.
Yes,
as
here
well.
we are.
So
we indeed
I would
are.
certainly hope so.
Yep.
Because those things are magical. Love them. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so Aaron, you're going to leave out recommending certain brands that you carry while pushing 20 others. Yeah, I heard that. Okay, more YouTube is saturated with detailing channels. I know people would probably get mad, but if you just eliminated every single detailing channel that was created after 2018 or 2019, you'd probably have 2/3 of them gone.
Probably more than that, Dan. Probably 5, 6, to be honest.
I mean, because the ones that existed before that, it existed. It was a thing. You could find channels, obviously, that existed before that, Ours included, and many others. I mean, even Chemical Guys and ones go way back to early YouTube. But it's interesting to see how it's actually kind of become its own niche, even among people who don't know it as a niche. It's just a thing where they go, oh, that's the fad? Okay, I'm doing that. All right.
Next
then
up.
I've got Super Auto here. Al making an earlier entrance than normal, so thank you, Al, for popping in
Thanks
for a
for
bit
joining us.
more of the show. And then Joey, I've unsubbed from so much that I end up watching Matt Mormon wash a car for 2 hours. That's where I'm at.
It's not a bad spot, Joey.
Joey's met him in person, and he would still rather just watch the video of him going and doing that. Oh, boy.
Matt's a good guy.
Now, still he's mobile detailing. What's he saying, Anthony?
Enjoy going to SEMA vicariously through TRC Live on the comfort of my couch. Las Vegas, no thank you. Yeah, well, Andy, it's a good time, but, sometimes it is nicer to watch from home.
Fair. Then I got Jose popping on that AR. So I know a lot of people were talking about the AR when we were down there. We were going to go take a look at the booth, and then I think we just kept having the wrong timing to go do it. It's just we kept getting pulled aside to do other stuff.
New AR looks really good. That's a really good looking. I mean, everything, the performance, everything. I would be very, if I was in the market, that's probably something I'd be looking for. Next up.
All right. Then I've got Aaron here kind of doing a walk through the steps. Build a fan base, then capitalize by pushing your own brand instead of taking a small percentage from another brand. This happens in all industries, not just detailing. There's certainly a method to it. It's a tried and true way that a lot of people kind of do this stuff. It's different for, folks who want to do the more influencer thing. You can go that route. But for us, we're a company first. We weren't like a media company first. We were literally just selling microfiber towels and then build out of that. So that's why everything we've done up to that point has basically been organic. I mean, it takes a long time, but it also means it's a lot sturdier foundation to operate off of. All right, Jose says, there's another guy that mentioned to people, don't go out and buy from non-specialized pressure washer companies, and then bam, you get the AR630 V2 and now 635 that shoots out 3+ GPM on a 20 amp.
Yeah. Pretty nuts.
And then Jose says, another guy equals Matt.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, he is impressed. I mean, he is very impressed with the AR. I mean, he literally is so complimentary of it. But I think that's the difference between Matt, right? I mean, that if when he's proven wrong, I mean, he's happy to be proven wrong. And, I think that he really does like the AR quite a bit. So, yeah, pressure washers have come a long way. Have come a long way. I mean, shoot, since even just, I don't know, 5 years ago, they've come such a long way. And, gosh, I remember. So I don't know if people remember, but back in the day, when we wanted to pressure wash something here at the rag company, we had a gas-powered pressure washer.
No.
And it wasn't that the electric pressure washers didn't exist. It's not that like a Krenzel's didn't exist. It was just a gas pressure washer was just weirdly more obtainable. Anywhere, but it's still at a decent price and with good power output. But you also. This was a time frame where you weren't really buying a pressure washer specifically for detailing.
Yeah.
You were like, well, if I'm going to buy a pressure washer, it's going to be for
wash my house,
wash my car. Because if anybody asked you, you bought a pressure washer just for detailing, they would judge you. They'd be like, you bought
crazy.
what?
Yeah.
Well, no, I could also use it for
business?
other things. And they go, oh, that makes sense. So we're in just a different era now.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can do it dedicated. All right, I got Hydra here. Boom. Buzzwords are used nonstop this time and age. Now, I'm afraid to say, buzzwords have been a thing for a very, very long time. And what gets frustrating is there is actual science and terminology that people will go, buzzword or whatever, when the chemists are like actually trying to explain something to you. And it's so frustrating to see that stuff get dismissed when it actually has scientific foundation to it. It's just, there's a lot of other places that'll play super fast and loose with like the rules of how words are used, and it cheapens it. And I get that. It's frustrating where marketing can kind of take back from what actual progress is being made.
Totally.
Next up, if you want to weigh in on that, you're welcome to. That's the stuff that gets me excited to talk about that kind of thing. So
I hate the word buzzword, so I'm just going to move on past that.
Fair. Yeah. Buzzword is a buzzword.
I hate that word. Yeah. Touchless is the GOAT. Nice.
I think we got a Built Hamber fan there. Jose.
Yeah. I love Anthony mentioned panel impact ratio. He is the new. I am not a panel impact ratio expert. I am an eyeball it at this point and then send it, but I will admit that there are certain chemicals, especially if I'm talking about Built Hamber touchless, that is important. And I will say the reason why it is important is because of the trim staining. You don't want that. you don't want trim staining trim.
Right.
And then Jose, sympathizes with me having to figure out what real questions are here in the chat and what's not just a bunch of banter.
Tough job.
Redrobot Dubs, that's a fun name. Whose van?
That's Nick's van.
Nick. It's family van. Hauls around, the family. So
it's a high-performance Toyota Sienna. We joke around that it's got a 2JZ swap. It doesn't, but it would be a lot cooler if it did.
I mean, it's still got, a Camry style V6 in it. It's still, it can do things, but
it needs to be straight piped for sure.
It's basically a Lotus, just heavier, which defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah, there could be Lotus badging on the Sienna.
Yeah, you really want to upset people. All right. So, okay. Now, this is interesting. Molasses says, I must be the only one unimpressed with Griot's brushes. Gimmicky to me. I prefer dedicated brushes without the need to swap handles constantly. Now, Molasses, I can definitely see where you're coming from. Speaking broader as far as like gimmicks and products go, not everybody can just sit there and reinvent the wheel every single year and come up with like a new scientific breakthrough that's actually going to change the whole industry. And unfortunately, a lot of marketing kind of plays up that angle for a lot of people, or they create it in their head that, oh my God, there's a new product coming from this brand that I know does great stuff. And then they disappoint themselves because they created some image in their head of what it was going to be and didn't actually think realistically. But I think what Griot's is doing with the brushes is interesting. I imagine if you like damage part of the brush and you can just swap the other half on and make it usable again, that's pretty appealing to me. There's different ways you could use that make sense to me. Or if you're using a particular type of handle that you like or an angle thing, and you want to change the type of brush doing a certain type of product in a tight space or something, I can see ways you can make it work. But at the same time, yeah, it's a gimmick, but it's not a bad one.
I think it's just going to come down to the cost of replacement heads and just the cost to get into the brushes themselves in the first place. That will literally define that the success of that entire line of brushes. If the cost to replace certain heads or to get replacement handles, or it's a cool like modular system, but if there's a cost that outweighs just going and buying a dedicated brush, right?
Price will really impact people's ability to use it.
The thought is really cool. I think that it is definitely one of those thoughts where you think of that idea and you go, oh, that would be really cool if that happened, and you do it, but then you think of the practicality of it in real life, and if you go all in and the practicality makes sense for you and you can do it, then sure. But to everyday people, the practicality of that is, once you lose a brush head, or once you separate the handle from the head, or something gets worn out, and you go, hey, I need to buy a replacement for that particular thing, it becomes a little bit too niche, and then sometimes it's just easier just to buy a different brush. And I don't know if it'll go that way. I hope it works out for them, but just saying from what I saw.
I would say nobody ever went broke betting on people's, they can't help themselves. They'll throw stuff away and just buy a new thing before they bother with, modular stuff in a lot of cases. Just think of the average consumer. So it's a specific kind of person this is going to appeal to. But if you can get those people hooked on it, there's a market. It just may not be as big as what people may think.
It'll look very good on a pegboard. Like all those hanging there, it's going to look good. I promise you that. I know that for sure.
Did you have anything you wanted to add to that? We're just kind of going all over it. But all right. I got Belinsky here. I've been washing my car lately with Radiance, and it still amazes me how the car noticeably glows afterwards. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Radiance is quite nice. It's Gabriel's favorite. I'm sure Gabe is watching right now, smelling his bottle. Mas says you don't need to swap handles, but you can buy all the brushes with a handle and then just change the head when it's done for. Correct. Yes. You basically, they've made it to where you can color code with the bands. You can change, which handle you want to hold on to. It's a very modular system. It's basically like a Lego set where you can kind of customize things to your needs. I'm just wondering the practicality of it all, down the road, and then just the price. That's all it is. If it's dirt cheap to swap and do all that stuff, great. Then they've got a banger, right? And if it's not cheap, then that's where it's going to be the problem.
MLS weighs in. It's a neat idea. It's just not for him. I totally get it. And as far as the real value prop is concerned, we won't really know until you know what the prices are.
Right.
Next up.
All right. Isaiah Jackson, Sydney.
So when will the gallons of the PNS Recovery Series be released? Also, when will Intervention be available in 32 ounce? So Intervention has been in a 32 ounce for a couple weeks. And then the gallons will probably never happen for Intervention and Therapy. We did, again, it kind of goes back to what I was talking to earlier, is the audience to manufacture something for. So we put Rehab in gallons and almost none have sold. The 4 people that asked for it bought it, and then they'll have Rehab for the rest of their life. So the thing is, especially when you're dealing with compounds and polishes, every time air hits those bottles, it can affect that whole mix, right? And as they sit, they become separated over time. And so those types of products are not really something that you want in gallon form. You kind of want new, fresh batches every so often. And so really the only target market for gallons is body shops. And there's just not enough to make it worth manufacturing, going through the bottling. Because, we're talking we have to bottle 3,000 at a time, right? And so Rehab, we did it one time in gallons, and they'll be sitting there forever. And then it does end up with manufacturers sitting with product that is now technically too old to sell. So again, it's just the audience situation so I can pretty much for sure say Intervention and Therapy will never come in gallons, but they are both available in 32 ounces right now.
It's the classic customer, Costco customer problem of, I'm going to save so much per ounce on this stuff, but I'm never going to use all of it.
But you won't, because you'll end up, throwing away the last half of the gallon because it's
the clock
rock
is ticking
hard or it's separated or something. So not a good idea to have that much.
And this is why I always bring this up. So I'm glad to see Wolfsburg catching on. I didn't know TRC had been around for so many years. Yeah. So congrats. Do you feel that car detailing is having a big moment right now? If so, thoughts on what's driving it? I mean, Anthony can certainly weigh into this as a bit of an influencer himself. But I think as far as how this all works, I think it's just one of those things that caught on YouTube and other social media. People found there was like a quick fix of satisfying content. It like stemmed out of that, where people discovered detailing because of the obsession with like satisfying content, where it started with like pressure washers, like cleaning off a driveway or something. And then suddenly those pressure washers are cleaning a car, and then it turns into brushes used on a car and the emblems, cleaning the dirt out, and like little stuff like that. And you can see the evolution, or at least one way somebody might have arrived there. But I think more and more people caught on to that, and then people saw there was an audience, and they decided, oh, I know nothing about this, but I'm going to learn really fast. And then I'm going to, become a creator in this space. And then when the next thing catches on, they'll move to that. But maybe a moment is the right way to look at it. What do you think, Anthony?
I don't necessarily know that they'll bounce and move to something else. I think
I'm not saying
so
all of them. I do think some of them, though.
Yeah, TRC. We've been doing this for 20. We're going on 26 years right now. We get 27.
27 as of next year.
It'll be 27 years next year. And then we've also been, between YouTube and just general, preaching the gospel of premium microfiber. It's been coming up on 14 years we've been doing this. So since 2012, it doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but we've been preaching things for quite some time. Even back to before I even started working here, right? I was a customer in 2013, 2014.
You were my customer.
And I was Dane's customer, right? And so, I was going in and learning the gospel of premium microfiber to make my choices when it came to, cleaning my vehicles and other people's vehicles. And so that was kind of we've been doing this for a while. But what I think is happening in detailing right now, I think it's kind of here's what I have it's not a theory, but this is like one of like 30 theories I have. One of my theories was that during the pandemic, I think that
that's a good place to start.
A popular search term was how to clean my car. How to clean my car, how to rid my car of whatever, right? Because the second
I'm not driving places, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, the second the pandemic hit was the second that people were now, okay, how do I clean my home? How do I disinfect things? How do I disinfect my car, right? It's a search term. So you type it into YouTube, and some people, probably many people, would see a detailing video pop up, right? And they click it, right? And before you know it, they go, oh, I kind of like this. This is satisfying, right? Or I like the drill brush. I like the carpet extractor. I like this. I like this. And I think what it ended up doing was basically unlocking an entire new generation of people who didn't even know detailing was a hobby or something that you can do, now have become engulfed in it. Maybe they were previous car people, but a lot of them, funny enough, were not car people.
Yeah.
A lot of people who got into detailing
that always weirded me out.
They weren't like massive car enthusiasts or anything. Yeah. They just, again, maybe it was pandemic related, or maybe it was just something that they found they enjoyed, watching and doing. Because again, it's just like watching anything else satisfying on YouTube or online, where you see something and you're kind of like, I think I'm weirdly into this. I like watching this guy paint a picture. I like watching this guy, work on a car. I like watching this person do this. So next thing you know, these people started gravitating towards, people cleaning things, and then next thing you know, their YouTube algorithm has now completely changed to detailing. So now they're watching, they're learning more, they're becoming more vested in it. And what do you know? At this, they
50/50s are really easy short form content that that style of content gets exploited by so many detailers. And it's not to say it's a bad thing. It's just that's what appeals to people in a very quick format where you only have a few seconds to get attention.
Yeah, but I think that after that point, right, you have a lot more people that are now generally more interested in detailing content, right? Because now you have, a detailing video think of like the back in the day where you had Detail Geek or Sofa Garage or whatever during the pandemic, because that's when they started popping off like crazy, right? I mean, there's a reason why they got to millions of subscribers. It was because of the pandemic and people watching detailing videos. If a video is getting 2.2 to 3 million views on a detailed transformation, I can guarantee you right now that there aren't 2.2 to 3.3 million people that are detailers watching those videos. They're everyday people that are watching a satisfying transformation, that this video was given to them in their feed, probably due to a related search or something like that. Now they're interested in this. Now detailing is taken off. And now the content creators that were maybe in that space that leveraged that, gosh, they found out that they were making some pretty good money, right? They found out that those Amazon affiliate links were popping off. They found out that those other affiliate links were popping off, and they go, holy crap, there's a lot of money to be made here, right? So you have a subset of people who are watching the detailing videos, satisfied with what they are seeing and purchasing and consuming the things that they see in these videos. And now you have creators now leveraging the popularity of detailing that I mean, again, maybe not even car people. Maybe they're just everyday people who are like, oh, crap, I'm making a ton of money right now. I got to keep this thing going, right? And maybe the detailing content continues, and maybe the content eventually turns into a brand, and then the brand now turns into, what they're pushing, what they're doing. So, and I'm not discrediting where they've started or what's happened, but a lot of those people who once watched the detailing videos and found it satisfying or enjoyed it also probably got a boost of confidence thinking, well, if they can do it, I can probably do it too. So then they jump in and they start making some detailing content, and they start doing that as well. So what I think it is partially maybe some car people that have jumped into the game. I think partially people who weren't car people who just enjoyed cleaning things and found it a therapeutic and satisfying outlet also started jumping into it. But what's happening right now is you have an overall saturation of probably the detailing market right now. Just like with any other market, it's a little bit overly saturated. People are all trying people are trying to get get what they can out of it. Whether it's, it could be something as simple as getting views in a video. It could be as simple as, making a few bucks off an affiliate link, or it could be as complicated as somebody saying, hey, I'm trying to make money. This is how I'm trying to afford my life, or trying to build a future by doing this and pushing this. It's just the difference there is that what's happened is you have people that have existed in this space for a long period of time, who have had businesses, who have been detailers, who have been car people, who have really, this has been a core part of their life for many, many years, who are now seeing somebody kind of enter their space and, capitalize on, the jobs that people have seeked out for many, many years to be able to have and be able to be where they're at. And, and you kind of go, well, crap, it's a little bit overly saturated. And I understand it's because people, want to make some money, or people want to, feel good by getting views. But right now, it's just a weird time. I think that we'll see what happens here in the future. I hope that people continue loving cars, and I hope that people don't get burnt out. And I hope that people don't become jaded based on certain people's decisions right now, because I think they have a bigger impact than what they think. And, you might get people that start to hate detailing because of that. And I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, there's always an inevitable backlash. And I really appreciate you talking about this, because I do think it's a really interesting topic for people to get into. So great question, Wolfsburg. Appreciate
great question. Yeah.
And Sydney,
do you have anything different?
Sorry, didn't mean to dominate the whole thing.
No, I pretty much echo everything that Anthony said. I think that just in general, there's an influencer problem just in the world. I think that's true. And I would go back and blame the pandemic, because I know for me personally, the pandemic meant TikTok. Right?
Yeah.
And we all had to turn to TikTok no matter what our age was. And I've noticed a shift that, since TikTok became a thing, they were short clips on cleaning cars, and then it turned into people seeking out YouTube for the longer content. And even just as early as last week, I had a guy here in Boise call me, and I literally didn't even know what to say to him, because he was just like, I watched a couple videos and now I think I'm going to open up a detail shop, and here's what they're charging me. And, and I just sat there almost like blinking my eyes, like, well, you can't just watch a video and then open a business. Like I was like, you've got to have 20 people sign up for a $400 detail for 20 days of the month just to make your rent, so, I mean, it does seem like there's a lot of people that think that they can just watch the videos and then they're ready to go out and do that. But I also see that in other, genres too. I mean, I see it in the beauty industry, and I mean, everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to get paid. I know, I run a couple social media accounts, and I think that is probably one of the most frustrating things that I've seen happen over the last couple years is everybody thinks they're an influencer. And so if you can sign up for a YouTube channel, they write in like, oh, will you sponsor me? Will you give me money? I'll try out your product. And it's just like the worst way to go about it. I know I hit delete on all of them. So I think it's just, I don't know that it would be like having a big moment, but I do think that it's definitely been cast underneath a spotlight, and I too blame the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I mean, it hasn't been all bad either, though. I mean, it's been good. It's brought a lot of awareness to DIY and enthusiasts, and that part's been great. But I do think that, definitely us being stuck in our homes added to us getting.
There was actually I don't want to get too far into it because I know we're kind of running short on time, but I had an influencer come up to me at SEMA, right? And it was on camera and off camera, but off camera, he'd asked me, he's like, hey man, like, he was honest with me. And I totally appreciate the honesty. He's like, hey, how do I do this? How do I be successful? I'm already kind of in this space right now. I want to continue to be in this space. Like, what advice do you have to give me? Right.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, do you want, I mean, I can give you just a very vanilla answer, or do you want like an honest answer? He goes, no, I really want you to be honest with me. Like, I want to do this because, my previous career, I was in this, right? Or this was my previous expertise. The pandemic, everything else kind of shifted me towards this. I started doing this. I enjoy this space. I'm trying to find how I enter it and what my niche is here and how I enter it properly. And I kind of told him, I was honest with him. I said, basically, like, everybody wants to make money, and doing what they love, right? And I can tell that you probably want to make money.
People literally trying to monetize their hobbies.
Right. But that's what, anybody would love to monetize a hobby if they can do that. But I go, how you enter this space and how you differentiate yourself will matter the most. I go, the relationships and the people that you associate with, the people that you talk to, and all of that in this space is going to greatly impact the future of what you will have in this, right? I go, if you are negative, you will attract negative people. You will attract negativity, and I can tell you right now that negativity and profitability usually don't go hand in hand, right?
Well, they do at the beginning.
Well, okay, sorry, they do at the beginning. Okay, I should say at the beginning, you do at the beginning, and then it crashes. But and that happens,
for
fastest
anything.
Way
to start, and the easiest way to burn yourself out immediately.
I told him, and 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 I will straight up, he was like, hey, this is where I've already messed up, right? I've already I made I don't want to say a mistake, but he's like, I kind of did this decision, and I don't know if it was the right thing. How would I go about, fixing that, or what should I do? And I tried to, help him out in the best way possible, because I asked him, I said, hey, obviously you have your wife, and she's here, and she's supporting you, and that's huge. But I'm assuming you have kids. Yeah, I have kids too. I go, well, then really what you're trying to do is you're trying to support your family, you're trying to support your kids. You should do it in a way that sends a positive message to them, and again to the people that you're working with to get you somewhere where you want to be for everybody. Be better, basically. And I think that hopefully resonated with them pretty well. I think we had a pretty good conversation, and it went from there. But yeah.
I always tell them it's like planting crops, right? You can't, you're going to have to wait for the seeds to grow and the crops to flourish. And so, you can't just think that you make a channel or that you contact a company and ask for free samples and suddenly you're a big creator and influencer. I mean, you're going to have to be authentic, become authentically fans of certain products or tools or what have you. And you're going to have to plant the seeds, and you're going to have to wait for them to grow, and I think that's probably where they make the biggest mistake, is they expect I don't know, like they expect checks the next day, and that's just not the way it works. I know for the companies that I work for, I speak that like we're looking for authentic fans. We don't want to pay people to say our stuff is good. We want people to genuinely love our products and love what we're doing and be on the same, goal in that space with us. And so, it's like planting a garden. I mean, you have to plant the seeds and wait for them to grow.
And that's where I made that comment about people who will move on to the next thing, because I do think there's they may not be the majority, but there's a very, very strong group of people within there who are driven by like a bit of a hustle culture thing, a bit of a get rich quick kind of mentality kind of thing where like, there's like, not to say an entitlement, because I don't think everybody feels that way, but just like I want to get mine and then, build off that. Right. And there's no thought to the long term. It's just like, how do I get what I'm trying to get as fast as possible with no thought as to how do you maintain that.
But what will also happen is you'll have people that are kind of like birds in your ear or like devils on your shoulder that will whisper you to say, hey, you should be getting something from this.
Right.
You deserve this because you've done this, and you should be getting something.
Needs to be monetized. You can
you should be making money from this. And
old YouTube was just people doing stuff for the love of it.
Right.
And it is. It's like
it's okay.
Yeah. It's like a devil in your ear telling you, hey, you should be getting this, or you need this, or don't do this for free, right? Well, hey, if you're just starting out and you're passionate and you're having fun and you are just enjoying the journey of whatever the heck it is, you don't want somebody in your ear telling you, hey, don't do this for free. You should be making money. You should be doing all this. That is your decision to make down the road. Don't be influenced by somebody basically saying that you have to be doing this or you're a dummy, because otherwise you're going to follow their lead. Are they happy? All right, look at that person.
Probably going to be miserable.
Look at that person that's giving you the advice. Are they happy, or are they somebody that maybe they have gotten burned, right? And they're taking their lifetime of maybe bad decisions and projecting that onto you and saying, hey, you should be doing this because this is what I did. Well, that's what you did, but don't yuck somebody else's yum right now while they're having the most fun or while they're learning something, especially in the learning years, right? You have to learn to walk before you can run. And then when you start running, that's when you make that decision for yourself. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Next question, Dane.
All right, man, just as you're saying that, I was like, holy cow. I've got 5 pages of comments.
Oh, shoot.
Peter here saying, did he just use magic wheel cleaner wrong? MWC, let it dwell, then rinse, then brake buster to agitate.
I'm not sure. What's that?
Lucas beats to his own drum, and he's fine.
Nobody tells him what to do.
Yeah. He actually does stuff professionally. He's totally fine. Like, what he did is
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I should have let it dwell longer, but I always like to go tires first, then wheels. I didn't really feel like getting out a brake buster foam cannon, which is usually what I do. But
I see.
Not a lot of iron contamination built up. Wasn't a lot of purple even on the barrels where I was letting it sit for a sec. It's just...
Well, there's your
what
answer,
are you gonna
Peter, do? So hopefully that helps. Lucas, like Sydney said, beat of his own drummer, all good. All right, it's 50% off the price for just the brush part compared to one plus a handle. Okay. Going to try the new orange pad. Thanks for explaining, Sydney, says Corral's Garage. And then, here we go. Tied to our earlier conversation. Awesome guy. I've been seeing lots of entrepreneur vids about guys making more from a detailing side business on the weekends than their 9 to 5. So I think that's got people wanting to learn. And granted, while that is success, remember, the people who are the most successful will be happy to tell you that anybody can do it. And I don't want to ever discourage somebody from trying things. Just know that realistically, like where they're at, like it's timing, it's a little bit of luck. It is dedication, it is all those things, but don't expect it to just magically happen because you cared hard enough for it to happen. It's got to be more going on.
And one thing I just want to point out, right? So the entrepreneurial vids and all that, right? Look who
there's also a lot of fake entrepreneurial stuff out there.
Most of them are young. Most of them are young kids. Most of them are in their young 20s, right?
Yes.
And they're pushing something. I will tell you right now, they're on their parents' health insurance, right?
Yep.
Because if you think you're just going to go jump ship and start detailing and start making the money that you'd be making in your 9 to 5, right? Well, things you're not going to get. You're not going to get health insurance. You're not going to get vision. You're not going to get dental, right? And also, too, you're not going to get consistency, right?
Consistency is the big one, yeah.
That is huge. Yeah. It's just like real estate. It's just like anything else. You offer a want not a need in most situations. People want their car detailed. They don't often need their car detailed by anybody that depicts that other than themselves. So I'll just say that. But can you make good side money? Absolutely. Can you run a full-time business like Sid? Absolutely, right? Totally. But there's risk involved. So again, look at those entrepreneurial vids of the guys in their 20s, and
those guys are dangerous.
The young guys, those guys,
real-time guys who fake their wealth, like, oh my god, I have so many cars, and they're literally standing in like a park here garage for like all these people to just use as a space to park their car,
I'm not trying to yuck somebody else's
is
yum.
theirs.
I just don't want people to jump ship and be like, crap, why did I make that decision? And just weigh out the options. Don't be so influenced by those people.
And it's like the gentleman I was just talking about, right? So he has a normal 9-to-5 and he owns a business, and he was like, oh, I'll do this on the side. But then he's like, but I think I want to open up this detailing business. And I was like, okay, but like getting 3 friends a month isn't that hard, right? And only if you feel like doing it. But when you suddenly have like bills to pay, insurance to cover, the chemicals, the equipment, the rent, the extra utilities, and you have to get 20 people a month to sign up for a $400 detail every single month through November, December, that is hard.
Yep.
And the stress alone will kill you. It was like, I don't know, 4 years until I would say that I was actually profitable. Now, the thing that was different for me was when I started doing it full time, I was on a break working, right? And so it didn't matter. I had a goal of what I needed to do every month. And honestly, it was like $2,000 a month. That was really easy. Like that's all I had to bring in. When you suddenly have to bring in 15 to 20 grand a month just to pay your rent and everything, that is when life gets real as an entrepreneur, and that's very difficult to sustain. It takes years and years until you are consistently profitable. And I guarantee you, when you get that taste of a lot of money in a couple days, you make really poor financial decisions. It's very difficult to run a full-time.
The cars that you buy get returned, right?
Yeah.
The things that you had have to be sold.
Yeah.
And it'll humble you really, really quick. So just keep that in mind.
Extravagant rentals and leases posing as like things you own kind of stuff. Like it just becomes this untenable thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well,
all right.
Thank you for the kind comments. He's monetized.
Monetizes comments. Nice. Here's a good question, kind of totally off here. Boss Window Tint wants to know, I've noticed that PNS Absolute is one of the only rinselesses on the market that claims it actually softens water. Will it lower the TDS in my hard water to prevent spotting? Now, O&R
it will not lower your TDS at all. No. It will not. It will just chemically prevent the magnesium and calcium and things like that from bonding to the clear coat, but it has no effect of actually lowering TDS. Right. It's more so the physical chemical nature.
Yep. All right. Then a good one here from Anna. I wish people would understand that anyone in the trades, I love building and welding, but they're not my hobbies, and I don't want to always do that in my free time. That's okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm kind of working backwards from the most recent comments now because I realize we're really tight on time. Yeah. So I just want to give people a chance to some more current stuff. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about, Aaron. If anyone can make a detailing brand, then anyone can open a detail shop. The question is, how long will that last? And that was kind of my point was, you can do the flash in the pan thing. You can come out, swinging. But if you don't know how to actually maintain things after that point, it's not, obviously it's not long-term sustainable.
Yeah. Hustling wears one out.
Yeah. It's exhausting. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Then Johnny Shield with a point. Everyone has to start somewhere. So with the opportunity to create a YouTube channel, it means more people have an opportunity. We're in a digital age. No disagreement. People are certainly welcome to go do that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just when you're fighting against the wave of saturation because so many other people are doing it. If you can find a way to make yourself stand out, awesome. I would definitely recommend. People might complain about gimmicks, but if you could do one that's actually useful and make yourself stand out, great.
Anybody can do you can do anything you want in this life. You can do. I would say just do the thing, and do the thing. I don't want to say ethically. Just do the thing how you want to do it. Try not to be so influenced and try to do what you want to do. And if you take influence from other people, right, but still make it you. Try to be yourself. do some meditating, find who you are as a person, what makes you happy, then push forward with whatever that means. Joey Blinsky says you could also apply for from Grandmaster of the Year. Yes,
certainly could do that.
Got into the space after taking my car to a detailing such a bad job. I figured I could do a way better job. Just need some good products, babe. Here, come to tears. It's nice. Thank you.
Glad we could be there to help.
That's one way to get into it as well. Heck yeah.
Yep.
Anthony is right. I started detailing during COVID. The golf videos on YouTube have spiked also. Eyeballs were all on YouTube. I also started my channel on lockdown, and now I upload regularly. Nice. Gotcha.
All right. Audio Nut Mike was really interested in the new power washer gun and attachments at SEMA. What was the thought process on the locking feature on the trigger of the handle? Is it really necessary? Because I know there's been this debate and people talk about liability. We decided to go with it, but Anthony can explain his thought process.
So, yeah, I know probably there will be more videos on this. There's liability with literally every single thing that you do. There's liability with turning on a pressure washer. There's liability with running a hose. There's liability with spraying a detailing chemical. There's liability with everything.
Talking on this podcast right now.
Right.
What we did is we put a locking trigger on the bottom, and we made it to where, it's not like the easiest thing to activate, right? So you have to actually do a two-handed operation or single-handed if you're good with one hand. But we did the locking trigger on the bottom. We thought that is also going to help obviously reduce fatigue on your hand, reduce any arthritis that you would have from holding the trigger. Our trigger pull is pretty fantastic. I actually think it's very light, and I think it's like wonderful, but if you wanted to lock the trigger, you could totally do it. Now the cool part is you don't have to use it. If you don't want to use it and you don't feel like the need to use it, you don't have to, and doesn't impact the gun outside of that in any other way. So use it as you need to, but what's also nice too is that the trigger pull is so light and the lock is so, I'll call it subtle, that if you were to drop the gun while it is on, stuck in the on position, then it would release the trigger, right? So basically it would bump it, it would release, and it would shut off the gun. What's also kind of cool too is, and I'll talk about this more in future videos, is that when we designed the way the trigger lock works, a single-handed operation with the trigger lock, it's totally doable. You'd probably have to figure out different grip points, but if you were to grip the handle like you normally would, right, then yeah, there's a chance that you may put pressure and release the lock. That's why, again, a two-handed operation and using the lance with it now becomes great, because now most of your weight is balancing between the lance and the gun itself. And so you wouldn't accidentally be hitting the trigger lock, but also when you have a lance, you're also way more in control of everything. So the likelihood of you dropping it is significantly less. Hence all the rubberization that we did on the entire gun as well, to not only make it ergonomic, but to also give you a better grip. So we thought of a lot of different things when it came to the trigger lock, and really, I think that it's a nice to have. I don't think it's a necessity, but once you use it, it's very hard to go back. Lucas, am I right?
It's pretty good. Gotta get some brownie points from you guys for my comments earlier. You did a fantastic job on the design of it. I've been having a good time using it in the studio. I think it's really good.
Thanks, Lucas.
Genuinely.
Appreciate that.
Nice.
Woo, party.
All right. Question from Tanner Bobbitt. Christmas O&R when?
A couple weeks. End of the month.
All right.
It's coming.
And I'll do two more comments just because they're kind of commentary. Detailing Vibe says, it's nice having Anthony and Sydney here for the talks.
Thank you.
Yes. You guys are doing great. And the last one here I'll put up so we can round out the evening. This is such a great conversation. Thank you. From DIY with Kane, who we met when we were down at SEMA. So it was very nice to meet you, Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's our show. I realized we had like several pages of missed comments, but there was actually a lot of great discussion happening during this show. So I want to
drop a comment down below. Leave a real comment down below in case we can't see the live chat.
Yeah, down below when this becomes a video on YouTube after the stream ends. Just keep the conversation going, because I'd love to see your guys' feedback and your thoughts on what we talked about today. Anyway, Anthony, go ahead, take us home. Sydney, do the thing.
All right, Sydney, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Lucas,
thanks. I'll be back next week.
Oh,
too.
You will be back next week. Oh, gosh. Heck yeah. Well, we can't wait to see. Maybe you'll bring me some more of those nerds, clusters.
Yeah,
delicious. Lucas, you did an amazing job. Thank you for doing what you do.
Having me.
Yep. Keep on servicing those people the best way you can.
If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, email support@theradcompany.com, and I may be the one to answer those questions.
You're the best, Lucas. Thanks, you, man. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you next week for Q&A Thursday. Be safe, have fun, enjoy the weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.
See ya.